Hi guys, how are you all doing? It's Ben from T-Rex Space Station here. The Joy of Sticks posted a video not too long ago asking, what is it about retro games that really draws you in, or why is it that you specifically play games from the past? And part of my response to that was that, well, as fans of retro games, we tend to not be put off by things that look dated. We tend to focus on the gameplay. If a game is good, it's a good game regardless of whether it looks old or new, whether the graphics are particularly advanced or not. In particular, I think that as time's gone on, there has sometimes been an overemphasis on good graphics. I can think of a few recent games which looked beautiful graphically, but actually had very little content to them. I think that that's a sad thing to happen, and fans of the retro community, we just like gameplay, and we're not put off by bad graphics, as I said. I want to pose the question to you guys: what are some of the most graphically basic games that you still really love? What are those games that might look very dated or old or even just basic that you still play all the time, or that you still really rate very highly? And that might even include games that don't have any graphics at all. You know, some of you might have been fans of the old text-based adventures where you mostly used your memory and your mind and your imagination. I'm going to give a couple of examples of games that I really like and still hold in very high regard that are incredibly basic graphically. The first game is Galaxian on the Atari 2600. This was a game that I first played when I was very young indeed, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, fine, it is kind of a Space Invaders variant, but actually for me I enjoy it much more than Space Invaders. I'm not exactly certain why that is, but I think it's a bit to do with the flight patterns in the game. The way that the kind of alien craft come down the screen is slightly more advanced than in Space Invaders, and it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit more. Space Invaders, I felt like it was all a bit blocky and formulaic with the way that the UFOs came down the screen. But in Galaxian they fly slightly less predictably, they fly in packs, and they shoot down at you at random times. And this is a very addictive game, and I still love to play it even today. To look at though, it's not particularly graphically amazing. You know, you have your little craft at the bottom and the aliens all look rather similar, although they are quite colourful and they do have varied colours and slightly different varied pictures, I think. This is just a very fun game, and it's just all about the gameplay for me. There's something really addictive about just killing wave after wave of enemy, and of course they get faster and faster and it gets more challenging as time goes on. This is a game that I just still love to play even now. The second example would be a game called Ancient Domains of Mystery, or ADOM, if you're a nerd like me. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but this is actually a completely free game developed by Thomas Biskup in Germany. And it's been around for a very long time. It's probably one of the first roguelike games that I ever really played, and it's what really sold the genre to me. This is a fantastically detailed game with pretty much no graphics. The graphics are just ASCII keyboard tiles that represent things. But somehow that's not off-putting. The attention to detail that's gone into this game is absolutely phenomenal. You know, you can play as so many different classes, different races, have different backgrounds, different alignments, different gods, and the monsters are just represented by keys and different colours, but you soon start to learn what they represent and get familiar with it. But what's more than that is that the characters are really well described. So if you use the look function, you get a very vivid description of how the monsters look, and it's almost more powerful than actually seeing a representation of them. You know, if you see a graphic, then it looks one way and everybody's going to see the same thing. But if you read a detailed description, you'll form your own idea of how things look, and probably each person has a different idea of what a gibbering mouther looks like, or whatever other ridiculous monsters you can encounter in ADOM. Now, ADOM probably deserves a separate video all on its own for me to show it to you guys and to talk through why I love it so much. But it's worth a mention here as a game that's very graphically basic, that is very immersive, very addictive, and I've been playing it for over 10 years. I still haven't beat the damn thing because it's so difficult. There's so many different imaginative ways to die in this game, as roguelikes tend to have, you know. But maybe this was the start of me really liking games that don't always hold your hand and kind of kick your ass if you make a mistake. And it's about learning the right way to go and developing as time goes along. So those are just two examples of games that are very graphically basic that I really love, and one's a slightly more superficial arcadey type game, and the other one's a very deep, engrossing RPG. But the thing they have in common is that it's substance over style. It's the gameplay that draws me in there, not the way things look. I'm capable of using my imagination, and I'm capable of looking past basic graphics. So yeah, I'd be really interested to hear your comments, guys. What are the games that are graphically basic, or even that have absent graphics, that you still love and that you still really rate very highly? Alright guys, take care and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.